Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Pokemon Yellow episodic Nuzlocke. We are just after finishing the Pokemon Mansion, and we are going to be taking on our 6th gym, even though he's the 7th gym in our trainer card. But we're going to take on Blaine. He is a lot easier to get to, namely we have the secret key and we can actually enter his gym. Fighting Sabrina means a whole lot of extra side stuff, and we have the type advantage being water and rock in Amistar. So we're going to take part in that and hopefully win. So let's roll that title card, shall we? Victory for the Volcano Badge. Now, as you guys may or may not know, Blaine's gym has basically a quiz mechanic. We're able to answer trivia questions in order to ignore fights. And basically in previous games you used to be able to either fight or answer the quiz question and the door would open. But instead, you more so have to answer the quiz question. Sorry. So, Pokemon quiz. Get it right and the door to the next room will open. Get it wrong and you must face the trainer blocking your way. You might want to conserve your Pokemon for the gym leader, so answer correctly. Caterpie evolves into Butterfree. Yes! We remember that so well. But given that Roxas is competitive, even though the trainer's like, you can move on, there's no need to fight me, he's like, no. We will fight. But what Roxas notices is that within Blaine's gym, they seem to be more of those plunderers from the Pokemon Mansion than last time. People that were burgling and kind of scavenging for any sort of information that was there in the Burnt Mansion. And obviously, Cthulhu being rock water is 4 times resistant to fire and has super effective damage water attacks. So this really is just a formality. But Roxas does inquire. He says to Spurgler, like, what were you guys doing in the Pokemon, mansion? And the burglar responds, first of all, in shock that Roxas has a prehistoric Pokemon so well trained, so well mastered over, I suppose. And Roxas says, yeah, no, he thwarted Team Rocket. They were attempting to gather fossils and to make their power for their own. But he's like, I tried my best to get out of that life of crime. I used to be a Team Rocket member, but Blaine has taken me in. And now I raise all of these different fire-type Pokemon, and I help Blaine uncover research that was once lost. He says that anything that is down there that wasn't destroyed should be destroyed, so we're just looking for any remnants of lost experiments and destroying it. Roxas kind of takes a moment, a bit taken aback, and kind of says, really, you're disposing of all of that evidence? He's like, yeah, no, the primal fire-type beast of the Kanto region came and destroyed the tower. Blaine's a fire-type specialist. He knows this legendary bird Moltres well, and when it, makes a statement, Blaine will listen. So, Moltres destroyed the burnt tower. Blaine's going to make sure absolutely everything that Pokemon wants to destroy is destroyed. Roxas felt his own anger burning up inside of him. Blaine's just hiring former Team Rocket members and getting them to fully erase all of his father's past research. Maybe this is a similar thing with Master Fuji. Oh, sorry, Pokemon quiz. There are 9 certified Pokemon gym badges. The answer to that is no. But that is actually funny that you can't just go and fight the person. They're like, no, we wrote these quiz questions, you're going to answer them, goddammit. But essentially, at this point in the story, Roxas has now heard the name of the Pokemon, the fire Pokemon Moltres, the legendary bird, is responsible for the burning down of the Pokemon Mansion and the death of his father. So now even more avenged and I suppose willing to go the extra mile, Roxas now vows himself to go and find that Pokemon and take his revenge. Although he does find it heartwarming that at the very least the research is being destroyed so Giovanni can't reattempt it. Although by all accounts the Pokemon itself was created, so maybe he doesn't need it replicated, he just simply needs it captured. And perhaps, at least from what the research said, Roxas deems that they were looking for prehistoric Pokemon because they had already filled Mewtwo with the knowledge of every living Pokemon in existence. So they needed something that didn't exist anymore, namely a previously extinct Pokemon. Something that they didn't have in order to put into Mewtwo's, power kit. But Roxas is literally journeying through this gym, and similar to Koga, the level cap for Blaine is like in the 50s, but Amistar is literally such a hard counter to any and all Pokemon in this gym that it really is just a formality at this point. Like, we're going to be getting the badge by the end of this episode. It's just getting by all these formally, now reformed Team Rocket members. So, quiz time. Are Thunder moves effective against ground element types? No. You're absolutely correct. Go on through. So he knows why Blaine became a gym leader. That should be some interesting knowledge to learn. But once again, meeting Ponytas, meeting Rapidashes, like, short of them having Horn Drill, we're fine. We're not in any danger of being taken by surprise. Blaine was lost in the mountains when a fiery bird Pokemon appeared. Blaine to find his way down. So clearly Blaine owed his life to Moltres, and then when Moltres came down in fiery, fury at the experiments happening in the Pokemon Tower, Blaine took that seriously and said, yeah, no, Mr. Savior Bird, absolutely, we are so right. We will destroy everything and make sure everything's destroyed. Roxas wonders if his father knew exactly what he was doing. I mean, his note said that they were hunting for Mew and looking into Mew as, the ancient ancestor of all Pokemon, but why not try and just resurrect Mew? Why take it upon themselves to augment and splice together all these different powers from different current day Pokemon? Why attempt to make a better Mew when, like looking at Cthulhu, a Pokemon can just be restored to life from an ancient fossil, but they want to take that powerful life and make it stronger, make it better in their mind. Pokemon quiz. Team 28 contains Tombstoner? No. Fire is weak against H2O. That is the chemical symbol for water. But yeah, speaking of water, I basically took a little jaunt out to the Pokemon Center just to fully heal up and refresh. But yeah, this is just Surf City. Like, it's actually funny how they literally gave us one of the strongest water moves in the game to even get to this gym. Like, you can't get here without getting Surf, which means you have a water Pokemon and a water Pokemon with one of the most powerful water moves. And they were like, let's make the fire specialist here. Like, why not have Blaine in Saffron? Because that could have actually been really interesting, because then you literally have fire, water, and grass within that little stretch. Like fire, water, grass, electric, the 4 starter Pokemon types. Would have been quite cool, because you have like Rock and Ground in like Viridian and Pewter. And then Saffron could have been this like mysterious psychic island where again they were doing experiments to recreate Mew, the psychic type legendary. And you're nearby the Seafoam Islands where you could potentially encounter like Jinx and stuff. I'm just saying it could have really worked out grand. Just in terms of placement wise, you know? Because then would have given you the strength of, oh well, and it could have been like a choice of between those 3 gym leaders instead of like the 6. That could literally have been, you know, Cerulean, Saffron, Celadon, Vermilion. Like, it could have been any of those order for those from badges 2 to 5, really, you know? And then it was like Poison variant, Psychic variant, Ground variant back at Viridian, like, you know? But anyway, who am I to say? I did not design the game, I would never design a game, so, you know, can't criticize technically. Level 44, it's looking good, and then I make a bit of a mistake here. I thought Spike Cannon was bug type. I was confusing it with Pin Missile, and so I thought, oh my god, Spike Cannon, we literally have like something to do with Dragon type, something to do with Psychic types, we're golden. And I'm just like, oh man, what a mix up. But yeah, even 10 levels higher with a critical hit, like there's no way we were losing to Blaine. And with one final Surf, Blaine's Arcanine is no more. And the Volcano Badge is now ours for the taking. And I'm going to keep them in like the trainer card order, so we're going to have a little gap until we end up collecting the Marsh Badge from once we end up with the Marsh Badge from Celadon or Saffron, from Saffron City. And then yeah, I do end up going in and I'm like, okay, Ice Beam, we can get rid of Horn Attack, that's fine. But again, I just was foolish to not realise, oh, Spike Cannon isn't a bug type move. But that's my bad. And now we're after finishing up and we're going to fly now over to Saffron so we can now liberate the Silphco building from the grips of Team Rocket. Professor Oak basically calls and says that he's heard from one of his pals, the president of Silphco, that Giovanni and the other Team Rockets had secretly been infiltrating and trying to funnel information from Silphco to Giovanni, and they've now learned that there is basically a Pokeball that should never fail, that should be able to capture absolutely any Pokemon in existence. And unfortunately, Giovanni has set his sight on this particular piece of Poke technology. So it's clear that, at least from Roxas' point of view, Team Rocket might have just simply lost control and contact of their experiment Mewtwo, but they very much want their experiment back under their control. So Roxas storms Sylph. That can be next episode's title card, the storming of Sylphco. This is going to be a long stretch of the videos. Basically, because of my little sub-challenge with Roxas being competitive, I have to fight every single trainer. And the problem is, the occupation of Sylphco ends, and the trainers, as in the Rockets, and those invading Sylphco, leave Sylphco, and you can no longer fight trainers in there. So essentially, I'm going to have to go into this Sylphco area and just make sure that I fight every single trainer before facing off against Giovanni. And there are 11 floors or something ridiculous like that. So it's going to take a little while, but it's good experience overall. Now, to tell you I escape roped out of Sylph, I basically put away a bunch of items, so I just cut that off, basically. Now, you can get an item called the key card, and this activates locked doors around all the different floors in Sylph. And you get some absolutely amazing HMs, TMs, items, healing items, supplements, etc. So, like that, we're after finding an elixir. And essentially, I'm going to have to go floor by floor and fight every enemy trainer, collect every single collectible. So it's going to basically be a two-parter. Like, there's going to be essentially nearly an hour of content just in Sylph. But there is a great amount of battles to be had, and I mean, we still have a level cap of 50. Like, Sabrina is above 50. And she's by no means a pushover, so I will take every opportunity to level against trainers rather than having to spend all the time trying to get levels against wild Pokemon. But this next bit had me so confused as a kid. You have to go on and back again to the same teleporter and basically be able to walk down then, and there you can get the key card. And once you have the key card in your bag, you're able to activate any of the locked doors and open them. So the key card opened the door. Which then one would argue the game had the capability of reading, oh, this item is in your bag. The barrier is gone. So surely they didn't even need to have HMs, strictly speaking. You could have just had like an axe, a surfboard, I don't know, a little hoverboard even, I don't know, but like you could have had like an item, a flashlight for flash, like, you know, you could have just had, once you have these HMs in your bag, cut trees are cut down, surfing is allowed, flying is allowed. I don't know. Just a quick thought. What do I know really in the grand scheme of things? But yeah, it's so weird to see like Wheezing and like these really powerful poison types at such a low level. Like they're 26. It's kind of mad. But it also kind of, I suppose, goes to show that, like, yeah, you were supposed to go and fight these after fighting Koga. Like, it's kind of technically meant to be like Koga, circle back to Celadon. You know, so there's a bit of a dip, I suppose. But Rival 5 that you fight in Silco is by Silco? Oh my god, I've been watching way too much Arcane. I'm so sorry if I've been saying Silco this whole time. The rival battle in Silphco is quite high level as well, you know? And this is the one thing I just have to do because we're collecting that many different things that I'm like, if we get like a stat up thing, just use it because I'm not going to remember. It's going to take up a whole slot and it's not worth it. Learned takedown. And can I tell you guys something? I am raging with myself. I taught it to Flare and I shouldn't have. I should have taught it to Huntress so she would have at least a powerful fighting move. She has, a powerful normal move. She bloody well has like wing attack, fly, quick attack and like sand attack. She could have used this powerful attack move there. And like while it's nice to have like something that isn't a fire attack for Ninetales, Ninetales isn't the strongest physical attacker and it just would have been so much better on Pidgeot. So I'm just really annoyed at myself that I just didn't catch that. What? There shouldn't be any children in here. And so, yeah, look, this would be good practice for Sabrina. We're up against some psychic types. So let's see how Flare does now with her new physical move, which obviously would have been so much better on Pidgeot, but anyway, what can we do? I made a mistake. Hopefully not a critical mistake. Hopefully not a critical mistake, but yeah, I mean, Flare is powerful. Chrysalis getting a level as well. We love to see it. Now, Mr. Mime I know is a bit bulkier, but I wonder how much bulkier is he? Oh, and you see that's where the recoil damage can be scary, like, because you're doing all this damage and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're actually like in the 60s with a potential to get just one banged by a psychic then, you know? So it definitely is risk versus reward analysis, I suppose. We're going to give Flare a nice little boost. And literally my job while I was like going through all this stuff was like, right, go to this floor, clear out all the trainers, talk to every NPC, because some of the NPCs are just terrified Sylph employees. And like they're actually not here for a fight, and yet other ones are, you know? It's a Pokemon report. Pokemon Lab created Porygon, the first virtual reality Pokemon. It's a Pokemon report. Over 160 Pokemon techniques have been confirmed. So techniques are basically moves, you know? In other words, Pokemon moves. There's 160 Pokemon moves between Growl, Cut, Slash, Scratch, you know? Quite interesting. Next up is Hypno. Very good. A bulky psychic type now. So Hypno won't really be that easy to take down. Why he went for Headbutt when he probably has like a wonderful psychic attack that could like absolutely demolish me. Just goes to show that the AI just chooses moves at random, so you can always plan. Not rely on, but you can at least plan for the AI to do something stupid and like completely unreasonable for them to do. See, Hypno is very bulky. That is a 4700 with a stab flying move. Like, do not underestimate the absolute bulk of Hypno. I don't think we're really going to face another one again, but it just goes to show that they are scary, and he could just swing back with an absolutely devastating psychic attack, you know? But here we are on floor 4. And so now I'm literally like, there's no other NPCs, let's talk to this rocket, get in a fight, and then basically I'm going to go 5 to 4 to 3 to 2. 1 has no fights, thank God. Basically go to 5, 4, 3, 2, and then go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And admittedly, it's all the kind of middle floors that get more and more encounters. Like floor 2 and 3 don't have that many encounters to go through. But as I say, for Pokemon that are mainly going to be poison types, this is Chrysalis's absolute dream. He can just go up against, you know, Weezings and all that jazz. But ground type now I'm actually a bit afraid of, because even though it's like many levels higher, I'm kind of like, I don't want to risk a super effective crit and then nearly lose my ghost type. I mean, it only has 1 or 2 weaknesses. Poison is that she's psychic and ground, so it's like, I'm not gonna be a dum-dum. We're not gonna do that. And another rocket is down. We don't really get that much money from them, but I mean, yeah, he basically tells us that the boss is on the 11th floor, so we basically have 10 floors to go through. We're after clearing floor 5. We're going through floor... What did I say there? We are going through floor 4. And realistically, we're probably going to be finishing up the episode in just a little bit. Just in the middle of kind of going through all these different floors and that. But we have the key card, which means we can basically go to floor 4, open all the doors, and then go to floor 3, open all those doors, fight all those trainers. So it's a good explore. We get an absolute bunch of TMs, HMs, rare candies, etc. So, and some really powerful moves. Like, we're looking forward to seeing Earthquake. We're looking forward to seeing Swords Dance. And obviously Swords Dance Earthquake is insanely powerful. Especially against like ice types, if we're not necessarily like rock or ground Pokemon using Earthquake. But just using Nightshade now to kind of preserve the PP, as it were. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be the episode. We're just going to collect a few more items. But please leave a like, leave a comment on how you found the episode so far. And yeah, another gym badge down, 6 gym badges down, 7th on the way. And then it won't be long till we have all 8. So hope you have a good one, and I'll chat to you next time. Bye-bye.